Welcome, my ink-stained apprentices. Let's just jump right into it, shall we? Today's explainer is a rather, well, let's call it a macabre little dance. To really get into the marrow of this, I'm going to be your guide. Think of me as the cynical, ever-observant jester in the corner. Picture my bells rattling, like dry teeth in a corpse's mouth, as we look at how the sovereign of the void, our looming obsidian doctor, demands a canvas of pure white, ripped right out of the fabric of your reality. So get comfortable, because we're diving into the ritual known simply as the harvest. I mean, just look up at the heavens with me for a second. We aren't looking for the North Star here. Honestly, that thing guttered out like a candle in a draft a long time ago. No, we're looking for the rotting constellations. As this old saying perfectly hits the nail on the head, the decay of those stars is exactly what signals to me that your soul is, well, ripe for the picking. It's like the cosmos itself is just a giant, morbid countdown clock for our grim little job. So before we really get this theatrical shadow dance going, I've got to ask, do you actually have the stomach for this? To watch the world literally fray at the edges? Because it isn't just about losing your shadow. It's about exposing that freezing, cold void right beneath the surface of everything you think is real. If you're ready, let's raise the curtain. This whole glorious harvest runs on a strict clockwork rhythm. First off, chart the celestial decay. Then, peel the shadow. After that, bottle up those private shames. And finally, weave the shifting tapestry. Act 1. The Celestial Rot. Picture the village square as a stage made entirely of ash. The air is heavy, tastes like iron, and it completely dictates how I move my rusted starfinder. We don't just harvest blindly, you know? My bells might sound like rattling bones, but my eyes, absolutely sharp. We're actively charting the failure of the heavens. It's a painfully slow decay, but these ancient stars blinking out, that's the ultimate green light for our grand performance. We toss out the maps made by men, we rely entirely on that soot-blackened sky to tell us, with clockwork nightmare precision, exactly whose house is up next. Act 2. Peeling the primary ink.
Okay, with the fading heavens setting the stage, my faceless shadow steps right up. And it doesn't trail behind me like a normal shadow, it actually leads. It moves with this liquid, predatory grace that totally ignores the laws of light. It's prepping for the rhythmic skinning of the living. My apprentice reaches down and literally peels the shadow away from a mortal's heel, kind of like stripping the rind off a really bitter fruit. This, my friends, is your primary ink. It's wild, but it's the only genuinely substantial thing you own. It's this dark shroud you drag around while you're still breathing, heavily concentrated with every little thing you've spent your life desperately trying to hide.
Seriously, think about the literal weight of your own shadow right this second. You probably just think of it as an absence of light, right? But no, it's a heavy, dripping ledger of every single moment your heart turned to stone. As we scrape it up, it condenses into this viscous, oily sludge. The villagers? Oh, they just stand there frozen. They literally can't look away as their deepest, most agonizing shames are physically bottled up, like a fine, dark wine, getting ready for the doctor's impending feast. Act 3. The Terrible Lightness. Now, you might be wondering, wouldn't losing that heavy, oily sludge of sins feel amazing, like a massive relief? Absolutely not. That burden of hoarded secrets gets replaced with what we call a terrible lightness, and it is horrifying. It's the sheer, terrifying emptiness of becoming a drifting, translucent ghost, just shivering in a blinding light you can't even block anymore. You are totally unanchored from the earth. It's no relief at all. It's a complete erasure. Once you're stripped of your shadow, you are completely hollowed out. The whole shebang. Your identity, your flaws, everything that made you vaguely human, forfeited. All those messy personal histories just dissolve in a split second into the deep, dark pleats of the doctor's vestments. You're left standing there with wide, hollow eyes, having been transformed into absolutely nothing. Act 4. The Shifting Tapestry. So, what happens next? Watch closely how the Pillar of Midnight, the obsidian doctor himself, takes all that stolen essence and repurposes it. The entire collective memory of your village is drained right into a single black pool. We take the secrets of the greedy, the regrets of the cruel, the silent prayers of the desperate, and we weave them directly into the doctor's robes. They aren't human experiences anymore. They've been transmuted, turned into the raw pigment and power that the sovereign of the void demands. See, your stolen shadow ink is exactly the dark pigment the doctor needs for his work.
He uses all this concentrated misery to literally strike names from a ledger spanning 1,000 cities. It's a totally silent, perfectly sterile surgery performed on reality itself. You and your neighbors are no longer defined by your actions. Your essence is just ink for his cosmic pen.
And finally, the blank page remaining.
Right, so as my shadow finally slithers back to my feet, looking bloated, sluggish, and incredibly heavy with the ink of 1,000 ruined lives, we snap our rusted Starfinders shut. And we take a moment to admire our final masterpiece, the blank page. Your village, which used to be this messy, vibrant story of humanity, is now a literal blank canvas, scrubbed completely clean of color and sin. We always tend to associate light with goodness, don't we? But here, the light has won by making absolutely everything invisible. It's just a bright, hollow, sterile room. The story's wiped out. Then, the doctor just turns his back on this blank page and stares out toward the horizon. His silhouette drags a wake of your stolen secrets behind him, and it's so incredibly dense that it permanently stains the earth in his path. Meanwhile, right above us, the celestial rot just keeps going. The stars fail one by one, while the ink of your past is hauled away into the dark, getting ready for the very next town. So, as the cosmos rots above our heads and the bells on my cap give one last, dry little rattle, I'm going to leave you shivering right on the edge of the abyss with one final thought. Would you like to see that final stroke? I really hope this explainer sheds some light, or maybe some shadows, on our harvest, exposing the terrifying beauty of the obsidian ink. Until next time, you might want to keep a very close eye on your shadow.